Hey guys, this is Wonderboat here with Community Clinic. We got some nice packs here. We've got two different units here with all the units that I quite like. And I am not quite a fan of these ones. Don't like losing the stats. Don't like these set of units. Yeah, let's do a tarantula game. We're up against a Sabertooth specialist with Sabertooths. Okay, well, we know what to expect here. We're gonna need a lot of chaff here to keep our tarantulas alive, so let's just go for that. Got two different Sako boards to choose from. Wow, okay, I like this one. I actually almost always choose this formation when I see it. I think it's a really good one. And it looks like this is a crossfire, which is what we call it when two people are playing aggro but on opposite sides. Now, this doesn't favor either player too much, I would say. Reason being is that we're both at about, 8 meters per second, and really what you want in these crossfires is, usually to take the tower first. Like, sometimes it is actually good to take a second. It really depends, but generally speaking, you want to be able to take the tower fast as well. So that's where his advantage is, right? He one-shots the tower, whereas for me, I have to DPS it down and he can level it. But that just gets rectified when I add my own phoenixes or whatever, so not super important for now. So we're both unit specialists, right? He gets his one turn before me. I get, the superior unit though. It's a little bit of tit for tat. What he's thinking is probably adding a bunch of chaff clear. He just really needs to lock on, right? That's the name of the game for him. If he kills my tarantulas, I just have no chaff clear. That's my whole army. And then for me, I'm in the opposite side, right? I need something like a saber, which is a valid choice. I typically prefer phoenixes. Reason being, they're faster, which is good on aggro, especially crossfires. The air threat can be, uniquely powerful as well. And Sabertooths, they can struggle against some of their counters, like Melter's outranging them, for example. That's given me a hard time occasionally. So round 2, there's 3 different unit modifiers we can go for. Haste module, generally pretty good on a crossfire. All about the speedy. Now I mentioned wanting phoenixes, and there's improved phoenix. Now if I pick it, I will waste a deploy. So do I just want it long term? Am I willing to have a bad turn? I think the answer is yes. It's going to be tricky, but what I'm going to do is I want both deploys, right? So I'm going to delay it 1 turn. I'm going to go for a wasp. This is just because it's a good flank defense. Flanks generally matter quite a bit in these crossfires. They're sort of all over the board. And yeah, we'll just buy a chaff with our last bit of money here. I generally like to think of this whole area as my own. So when I put this here, I'm almost thinking to myself, this is my zone. That's just the way I think about it. I don't know how others think about it, but you can see he's not even trying to defend, right? So for all intents and purposes, I can safely just develop my army here. So long term, so he didn't go for chaff clear, by the way. Probably should have. He may be fine for now, though. He did a really weak turn. But yeah, long term, we want a tower fortification here. Paying just 100 to get 2 seconds less debuff, and the amount of time it takes for him to kill it getting longer is incredibly good value. Every crossfire game, you should level up your towers. Definitely the primary one, but even sometimes the secondary one, since usually they end up going for that. Tower dynamics, really important in a crossfire, that's for sure. Kind of just aggro in general, but I'd say crossfire is the most 360-degree game is how I think about it. So he does manage to get a win because I did the crappy little wasp transition. That's fine. He knows I have improved Phoenix. He's obviously going to add anti-air, he kind of has to. Now we get unit reinforcements. So we have 2 giants, 4 arclights, and then the phantom rays. Now phantom rays shoot up. And there's a lot to talk about here. Phantom rays are good in crossfires because they have good DPS against the fortified towers I mentioned. They're also fast. Arclights are good if you want to flank stuff. I can put one here and then he has to answer here. Yeah, this is really interesting. I absolutely love crossfire games. Vulcan's probably the least attractive option here. Samur's fine. We're good against it. We've got the improved Phoenix. I'm going to go for the arclights here. I think they're the most technically efficient, just if you value deploys at 50, which You know, sometimes you should, sometimes you shouldn't. The last two honestly feel kind of poor, but whatever. I'll just like put one up here, and I guess I could like, man, this one kind of sucks. Let's just put it all the way up, just so it shoots quick. We obviously buy our Phoenix. It's improved, very tanky, big DPS as well. Put it with our chaff clear so it's never stuck. Do the tower fortify that I mentioned, and we could go for one of these distraction things. Like this Sabertooth represents good tower pressure, and I'm saying, nope, you gotta chase it. And then I like to min-max. It's a little bit tedious, but you just keep placing it and keep clicking it. It's the best way to do it. And so it should be right there. Perfect. All right, let's see what he goes for. Goes for the Vulcan. It was actually my least favorite choice. The reason being is that on aggro, it typically will get stuck very, very early. So right now it's stuck, right? It's on a tarantula. I could have like additional chaff streaming in, which I do. And yeah, that's pretty much the reason. Like, they just don't take advantage of their long range, and they get stuck. You can use armor really efficiently. It's just, yeah, not really the right unit there. But you'll see. He might hold on to it. Looks like our tower has been nice and safe. I didn't comment on the arc light back here below the tower, but that is a classic. Like, it scales really well with the more that you fortify your tower, right? Because what happens is usually they have tons of crawlers stream in, and then your arc light just sits back here and kills everything. And then when the tower dies, they also chase your arc light, so you're sort of like breadcrumbing them into the corner. So that's something I take advantage of pretty often. And of course, since we had so many deploys there, yeah, I don't mind putting one in sort of odd places. All right, we get our Rhino. How many crawler levels do we have? Just one. Don't need the subsidized then. This card was... that nerf really hurts, man. We can make our arc lights tanky. That is worth thinking about. Honestly, I don't mind it. Does this arc light get one shot? No? Yeah, sure, we'll take it. Now, the improved firepower was also an incredibly good choice there. I just thought this was kind of a cute play. I really like that card in general. It's a lot of stats. Now, the Rhino, as I mentioned, this is my side of the board, right? That's how I'm thinking about it. So I'm just trying to minimize the distance to get the tower. We'll fortify one more time. I think these just scale incredibly well in crossfires. Honestly, his tower pressure hasn't been big, though, but that's fine. I don't want to risk losing it. Buy one more bird. We can put it high up, but let's just be safe. And yeah, just another chaff. And health or attack, let's go with health. It is another 3% more than attack after all. Now let's see. The Rhino's going to have a good chance against the Sabertooth. They did get the field maintenance. Phoenix is just having a great time. You can see the arc light, by the way, just... it takes so much longer to kill, right? With the fortified. I don't know, it didn't cost too much, and I can always buy more of them. So I think it was an alright move. And I believe the last part of this battle, we should be alright. We just need to kill the anti-air here. The improved birds also get 50% more attack. So like our DPS is pretty good, right? Actually, is this thing really hard to kill? No, once we're locked on, it's kind of okay. I'll keep my eye on that though. Like if it gets out of hand, we do need to tech charge shot. All right, so all the unit stuff is done. Like I got my Rhino, he got a Saber. Don't think I want any of those improved cards. They're rather expensive and a little bit niche on the Sandworm. I have no techs, so efficient tech could represent a little bit of money. Laser sight's certainly a fine pickup, but let's take the efficient tech. I like levels on my like premium, you know, chaff clear, carries, that type of stuff. Levels on arc lights are going to be good just purely for the tank ability since I took fortified. And now I need to think, what is our board weak at doing? And I think the answer is chaff clear. And the closest chaff clear I have, it's sort of like a tie between the tarantulas and the arc lights. It's actually a really tough call. I think I will go for the arc lights. Like I may do both, but in terms of like teching, we're gonna do the arc lights. I really value that they have this fortified. So we're just going to set up one for each fang. I can just foresee those fangs being annoying, and I have to kill them at some point. And yeah, we'll end the turn. So he has answered my Rhino with a Saber. He's got double shot. Looks like he's really locked down on DPS. So now that I've noticed that he has really good DPS, that's when you need to be more interested in chaff, right? Because, you know, tanks become less valuable. Even like medium-sized stuff, like sledgehammers, balls, that type of stuff, technically get a bit worse, whereas chaff never gets worse against that, right? So something good could be like shielded fangs if he doesn't go into more mustangs, or just, you know, 3 crawlers per turn. Like I've got like everything I need, right? I've got the birds for DPS, I've got the chaff clear and the arclights and tarantulas, I have anti-air and the wasps and the phoenixes. So honestly, just having chaff in the right places can be pretty strong here. Oh, can the one... Oh my god, amazing. Wasp counter mustangs. All right, round 6 here. Got 2 spells. I don't have giants for the Mustang. He does have Vulcan unlocked. Don't think he'll take it. And then an amp core. Not the most exciting stuff. Certainly can't do wasp form against this Mustangs. We'll take the amp core and probably just chuck it on the tarantula. Which one did more damage? They both tie. We'll just chuck it on the one closer to the action. Always take the birds levels because they're improved, so paying 100 to get all the stats, very, very good. And yeah, I mentioned chaff. I do like the shielded fang option. I already have 3 of them, and like they're perfect buddies for these arclights, and I think these arclights are important since they clear those fangs directly in front of them. Make use of our tech spec there. And round 6, we could do some temp stuff, but instead we'll wait one more round. Don't think we need a missile anywhere. Nah, I should have done something about the Rhino perhaps. He's not really pulling his weight. What is good to do is like a crawler right there, and then the saber-tooth would lock onto it. Oh, probably a fang in my case, now that it has shields. But that's alright. It's not really a critical component of my army, although it may become one, actually, now that I think about it. Could buy some bunch of rhinos. I guess he has the double shot, but rhinos do be tanky, man. So looks like we're winning our primary side, losing our non-primary side, kind of what you expect. The goal is just to kill the garbage on the right and just leave only the sabers. Then the idea is that my phoenixes would clear up. And that's almost happening. He does have some like high-level mustangs. And honestly, those mustangs represent a problem for me. And the reason why is because I chose to go into arclights instead of tarantulas. And tarantulas are much better into them, so it may be a chance to pivot. Now we got 2 giants here, the wraiths and the sledges. Interesting choices. I'm good against technically all of them, so I'm more thinking about what's good for me. The sledges honestly do seem kind of good. They could be pretty poor into fortress though. I think I'm gonna do... it's tricky. I think I'll go for the fortress. It's just really tanky. Like even the double shots don't scare me. I wish I had a hole right there, but oh well, you can go right there. Now it's time to loan, time to take this very seriously. And question is, do I have enough birds? Because if I have enough birds, then it's tarantula time. At least I think it's tarantula time. It's a really weird position. Let's do the crawler that I talked about. I think it should work, right? The arrow's saying otherwise. We could also just like go into forts. Is that legit? It's probably not bad. Let's try it. I mean, forts are like really good carries, right? We don't want them too high up or too low. I'm not sure how to thread the needle there. Let's give that a shot. Okay, he bought like a lot of stangs. So that means I legitimately have to go into a tarantula turn. No ifs or buts. Next turn I am buying 3 blue tarantulas and I'm literally double teching them. It's gonna be like the whole turn. Because level 1 Arclights just don't... They're just not good enough, right? Like if the Mustang's level... I don't know, like the splash difference between an Arclight and a tarantula is pretty significant. Once you take high explosive, that is. Now what I have noticed is that our fortresses are really good tank lines. With DPS to kill the sabers as well. They're sort of like the bigger fish, if you will. It's just like a bigger version of a saber, you know? So I feel like I have the upper hand there. Especially if equipment drops, stuff like portable shield, heavy armor, I get the bigger dip. His Wraith flank was, yeah, just not a good idea because of the fortified tower. Wraiths don't have big DPS, right? So, not a fan of that one, but I understand the idea there. He just should have, I don't know. Now, round 8. First thing to notice is the mobilized battleship. Am I good against it? Like, it would take a while to get this one. This one's really exposed. Super heavy. I mentioned equipment. It's very tempting. I don't need the amp core stats. Like, I'd prefer this, I think. So let's go for that. I want to go for, like, the greed line, if you will. And let's immediately think about the battleship. Now, I wanted the tarantula line. No ifs or buts. I do have Arclight levels. Maybe I can get away with it. So what we're going to do... So we're going to do a Fang right there. It has shield, which means the boat would take a long time to kill it. We can even go with one here, honestly. Let's just play safe. I feel like I am in a good position, so... And like these late Fangs could be okay long term. He may light this on fire, but so be it. I did not pay attention if this thing got sniped. Yeah, the arrow's saying it hits the crawler. Okay. I honestly, though, I should just sell this. And let's take the stats. I'm really into this stat game we have going. We'll do a bubble here just because there's no DPS there. Missile, oops. Missile, we'll bubble. Screw it, we'll just bubble. Okay, what did he do? Feels like he just has sabers everywhere. We have this Giga Chad. Almost 500,000 HP. That's tricky. So honestly, because we're winning the stat war, all we need to think about right now is, are we winning the chaff war, right? And so I'm watching Arclights die, and I'm asking myself, is that a problem? And it definitely could be. I mean, really we have to kill the Mustangs, right? That's kind of the key thing. And I've already ranged my Arclights, so there's nothing I can do with respect to keeping them safer in that way. So I may just need tarantulas nice and far back. I mean, I could like layer Arclights and add more that way, but I don't know, man. Tarantulas are much better long term, that's for sure. Okay, so honestly, all these are not very good, I think. The reason why is that anything on the ground gets owned by his sabers, and then the Raiden, he's got Mustangs. So we take the sell, and this one is the best sell value, so we take Sandworm, sell it, instantly do the loans. Priorities can be important, and one thing he is weak on is missiling these, but I didn't pay attention if he's been bubbling every round. We'll do a skill check here. We'll do this here. Now, another thing we could do is Fist, but the problem with Fist is, does he instantly one-shot my forts with double shot? Not quite. It technically is chaff clear, so I don't mind that, actually. And protecting Arclights via just adding more forts, I think, is also pretty logical. I would take Barrier, but I think he just pops them, like, pretty much instantly. And I guess we can take the attack late enough in the game. It's just typically advised. I don't think there's many else important things to do, so we'll just do those bubbles once again. I'm keeping them away from the DPS. I guess we can just do some missiles, but I think he might bubble them. But it's still 5k damage against the shield. It's not nothing. Yeah, we got one through at least. Yeah, I think Everything we're doing is okay. The question is just, can we kill the Mustangs? And my choice was basically, let's see if the fist can just dominate the ground, right? So I just saw a bunch of Mustangs die to that fist. We're killing the sabers a lot quicker. I would say, like, okay, right? Like, the fist was okay. It may not be the end-all, be-all. I might still have to go into, like, tarantulas. But I think it was decent. I think it was worth the money. Now, this round looks pretty close. Level 5 saber with field maintenance, huh? That is tricky. Like, we will kill it thanks to the debuff and everything just staying alive. I guess we have pretty high Phoenix levels. I think we're fine. It's never going to get to a point of, like, unkillable. We get a round win. That's good. We're pretty low HP, so pretty important there. Now, he just needs to keep on the Mustang game, I feel. Is there, like, an armor play I can go for? Oh, they're actually lower DPS than I think. I think I could go for an armor play. Like, Wraiths with armor on the line could just be a gut shot, right? The Acid Blast, very concerning. Rhino Assaults technically could get my tower, probably not. I'm not sure what to do. We'll just take the Rhino Assault, and I don't know if this can Goomba Stomp or not. I suppose probably not. Guess we can Goomba Stomp this. Alright, so we're going to try the Wraith line here. Now, it's really important you buy them to level 2 so that they neutralize even more armor. Neutralize the Mustangs more with their armor. And you don't need that many. Like, if I just do 2, it's already quite good. The nice thing, too, is that they have chaff clear, right? Which has been my problem. So I think I will just buy the other one. Okay, I think that's okay. You just want a nice spread so that everything gets locked on. Alright. As long as we don't get scammed on the towers, I feel good about this. He goes for Storm EMP, so his idea here is, the fists were good, let's stop that. It's not a bad move. It's a bit of a gut shot, like we're kind of both going for gut shots. I do think mine is much better than his. Technically, he has this Giga one over here. Like they're not invincible, but the thing is, they don't need to be. They just need to be good enough, right? And they're looking good enough. Now, I may still lose to the Sabers if they're just out of control at this point. You can see, like, this one in particular is just regenning out of control. We need, like, Fists plus Phoenixes to kill that. A little concerning. But if we get the tower, I would feel comfortable. Okay, okay. I think we're good. Down it goes. Okay, so I took a little bit long to find that gut shot, I have to admit. I don't know, I just don't go for it very often, even though it's like a super standard play, but that's Mechabellum, right? You gotta know all the lines. You gotta have your wits about you. And yeah, that was a pretty intense game. That guy played really well for his MMR, I have to say. Well done to him. Pretty cool game. Gotta love crossfires. This has been Wonderboat with the Community Clinic. Thank you for watching.